Against my body, but it's like I'm not beside you. Can't think of a reason I should keep you close. Can't say you're the one I need the most, and I know that you can't say it either. Looking at your mirror like you don't wanna be hurt. You're never on my mind. I'm trying hard to find a way to tell myself it's.
For me, it's better to do only one because it's, I don't know, I'm just worried that. Must be an angel.
회식 많이 났어요. Station number F45. The doors on the left side will open. Please be careful.
やったことがそうじゃない日本全国行っとる
そうだ。
そうなんですよ。そこからちょうどね、ライブスタート作。
Thank you. After 15 minutes only.
Let's run away and leave this city. Let's run away and break new ground. Let's run away and leave this city. Let's run away into the sun. Pulsing tights, pushing you back again. Sleepless nights and empty streets. A distant stare, a lifeless satellite. Nothing's changed, but we still breathe. Let's run away.
が参ります。
いいかなと思ったら。
Yes.
엄청 있어요.
chaos tells me stories of life in a more perfect place where I wanna stay. It's easier to love when it's you by my side, shining through the cracks like the first morning light, feeling like a child through the days and the nights, living in your arms as years go by. It's easier to love, oh, oh, easier to love, oh, oh. If the sky is falling down on me, you'll be the one that's by my side to lift away from me. And if I find myself in reckless days, you'll be the one to pull me back into reality. Nothing like your smile in the morning, following the linings on your cheek. 'Cause baby, your actions life is boring, so I'll never leave. It's easier to love, oh, oh. It's easier to love, oh, oh. Easier to love, oh, oh. Easier to love.
什么是这么久的话，就是太无所谓。是啊，幸好我是应该是中午休息。
9年に建てられた古い建物で、現在は月経館大倉
来ました。秀吉はこの城の建築資材を運ぶため、大門に残されています。南浜、西浜、北浜といった船着き場により、現在は町名となって港町の名残が生まれています。武部軍の主力部隊として会津藩士の一団が大阪から続々伏見の
前アイスクリームそうでしょ